Kill Devil Hills started
by, I was going out with a girl that happened to know this man here, who happened to share a birth date with her, and I basically felt, it feels like I swapped that relationship for this one. Sort of found people, and we found Alex Archer, who's the violinist, who didn't know how to play violin. I persisted and gave him a demo of some live stuff we had, and he sort of basically taught himself rudimentary weird violin to the early Kill Devil Hills live tracks, and that we had a 5-piece band. He's very much a folk country blues line that weaves through the music that I think is what kind of holds it together more than anything else I can think of. That's the music that we all share in really different ways. Like no one in the band really likes the same music. There's a bit of overlap, but we've always kind of come in with quite different ideas. Don't really talk about influences very much. Don't really describe it in terms of other music. Just sort of play it. So there's never been any intention to make it that. Other than for a song or two, it sounds like this. But in terms of the overall big picture, it's kind of like a weird collage of a lot of things, I guess. Steve and I write the songs fundamentally, and the other guys in the band write as well. That's not but the core, like 90% of what's written, I've written a song, or he's written a song, and it's usually written on an acoustic, and it's usually sort of maybe 2/3 finished. Bring it to a rehearsal, let's try this, and it mutates into whatever,
Yeah, usually everyone just dives on it and starts playing, and after a while it finds its form.
After it's been beaten senseless for a few goes, it's
everyone usually plays over the top of everything,
And usually if I write a song and he says that he hates it, it's usually a winner. And vice versa. I think the song that, he's not here, but Gibbo, our drummer who wrote it, like the song Drinking Too Much, which we wrote just before we recorded the first album, that album, for Heathen Songs album, has always been the one song that people love. Like, it's a very crossover to a lot of different sort of types of music. I think people who are into all sorts of stuff go for that song. So that's kind of like the little hatch that people often enter the band via sometimes. That's certainly been the most popular song that we've ever done, and we can claim no credit for that, other than we were there when it was written, I suppose.
It's the one song I think that people that know the band sort of might sit around pissed and play, sort of, And
so it was kind of like a pipe dream that one day we could go to. He's lived in Ireland before and had friends there, so I was like, oh yeah, let's do that, But the reality of taking a band over there is meant that it's taken probably at least the last 2 years to try and get the money and the contacts together, and it's come about through having the albums distributed from Spain into mainly Spain and France for the last 3 or 4 years with a label over there called Bang Records. That's been good, and that's meant that presumably there's like at least 5 people in each country that know us and will come to a gig if they can. But it's through a lot of Melbourne bands and other people in Australia that have gone over to Europe, and it's much cheaper these days than maybe it used to be. I think we've built up kind of enough contacts to be able to string a whole 30 or 40 shows together, which is what we're doing, and see how it goes. I think every time we've done 3 records now, and each time we've done it, we've sort of gone, yeah, it's great, and then you kind of go, I reckon we could have done better. It's sort of that for me, it's like, it's interesting as long as there's that creative well to kind of tap into, and I don't think that's going anywhere in a hurry. It's just sort of been really fruitful lately. We've been writing a lot of sort of stuff again.
Yeah, I don't think that I think that there's one really great album, somewhere, and that's what I'd like to get that out. The one that you make and you listen to and you're really, really happy with.
I'd love to do film stuff, that kind of stuff, more like soundtrack stuff. I think we'd love to do something like that. I think there's a lot of possibilities for various ways that we could use our music in different ways, including ads if it arose, but it's not just more with a view to trying different stuff, making some music videos, and above and beyond that, mate, it's very hard to see down into the crystal ball very, 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 very deeply as it is, but yeah, I think when we come back from this trip we'll know a lot more about it somehow. It feels like that.
Sailing up sparkling,
some get burned.